Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ned from Ned's Tack, that's otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet, and I'm probably one of the only people you know who've actually gone to a protest for things that don't directly involve me to help people that I don't know in any way. Okay, now within this, I need you to get the idea of incel. Now, I come from the internet, and one thing that's blowing me away is how quickly definitions change. A cream pie used to be one in the face. Bukake used to be like at least 50, gentlemen. Like, there are 10 at the very least. Now, everything's changed after COVID, during the DEI push of whatever, and I don't care. We need equality. I am a third wave feminist, 100%, and I will die on that bridge. You want to be your fourth wave? You want more than equality? What's that? You don't know the difference between third and fourth wave? Check it out. Look at it. Don't be spouting shit on the internet until you know this shit. Now, here's the thing. What is an incel? Legitimately. Elliot Rogers? That's not Elliot Rogers, but Elliot Rogers, he was truly an incel. We know people who are legitimately incel. When we look it up, we see these people. One thing really bothering me is the label that TikTok, that social media, as far as feminism's going, is changing it to just any man who disagrees with a woman. That's it. That's all. Definitions have changed so damn quickly within social media, you cannot tell a woman that they are overreacting. Guys, ladies, do you really think women are incapable of overreacting? Don't I look like I'm overreacting a little bit now? Maybe I want to identify as a woman. Maybe that should be okay within the purviews of your conundrum if you are a progressive. But one thing I just can't get over is how people are changing definitions to mean whatever they want. Fascist, Nazi, narcissist. So many. And guys, we gotta pump the brakes on this a little bit, because once a true incel comes on over, like, once a true incel, once a true Nazi, once a true abuser comes around, we're not going to be able to identify him. We're not going to be able to point at him. We're not going to be able to say that that's an issue. Because there was a time when an incel was a person that just couldn't get. Okay, originally it was a woman that couldn't get laid. She must have been really ugly or something. She must have been or really bad at socializing. Because I know a lot of women who are pretty ugly that can still, like that, and they'll admit it, no problem. It was originally a woman, and then Elliot Rogers comes around, and all of a sudden the name starts getting dropped. Actually, no, it was before Elliot Rogers. So as an internet goon, every now and then on Reddit, these strange things would just start being. So Reddit originally, it gives you stuff that you don't ask for to see if you like it. And I pay close attention to those things. At first, I was like, holy shit, why are you recommending this to me? The incel thing did come up, and then slowly I just found out everyone pretty much got it. There was a lot of creepy ones. There was a lot of creepy ones that came up like that, and incel was one of these ones. Now, the original how I seen it is nothing like how TikTok's going to say it is. The first introduction I had to it was a Redditor saying that, now this really bothers me, it haunts me. He was in lineup waiting to get to the cashier, and the cashier was a fair looking, actually a really nice looking woman. He didn't know anything other about this cash register lady than she was young and good looking. Now, someone comes up to her and whispers in her ear, and whispers something into her ear. And then the woman her face just goes to dread, to ugly crying. Somebody she loved had just died. And the writer was so happy about it. And it wasn't just like that he was happy. The way he wrote about it was just this poetic dialogue of watching a woman's face go from happy and you get everything you want and all that stuff. Yeah, you try being a cash register lady, buddy. Anyways, it was like poetic. I felt I felt like I could read his emotions, turning his heart evil, and how how the lower she got, the happier he got. Dude, what happened to you? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? Like that gets used a lot, but buddy, Who hurt you? What happened to you? And of course, that's one question none of us are going to ask. What we're all going to say is, he is an abuser. We need to help anyone he abuses, and we need to shun him and push him away, which is a problem of its own. If you're within shelters, you probably noticed that the death rate of abusers is going up, and there's not a lot of ways to help men. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the definition of incel. Now, these days, if you don't agree with a woman on a point, you are an incel. And that's unfreaking conscionable. We can't have it that way. But this isn't just me saying it. Society also feels this way. Like, there's going to be a few women watching this that don't agree with what I say. Just don't agree. The same way that my ex-girlfriend, when she was 16, when we were young, she said it's 50-50. And it's like, no, it's the woman. The woman gets like 90% of the time, and she thought that was so funny. And then she thought about it, and she's like, wow, it is really the woman that pulls. Like, not all the time. Not all the women just mostly just stay there and smile and look good. I know so many people in my old village that got married to the person they were with and stayed with them indefinitely just because that was the only person that came by and asked them. That's the thing. That was... So I don't know what your idea of perfection is and the ultimate man. I heard one chick say a real man doesn't get hurt when someone kicks him in the balls. And I had to check this, and I was like, no, you don't. If it doesn't hurt, then you just don't have balls. You just don't have any balls. But the thing about telling people they're incel and hurting people like that and just putting it on him. Okay, so if you're a progressive, then you have to do anything the natives say because their word is gospel, right? You love the natives. If you don't listen to this, then you don't like the natives. Okay, then that means you're racist. The natives had a talk about the dark one, and it really takes hold. Like, usually Buddhism's the one that makes everything super easy and has a good, and gives you an over easy outcome. But this is the dark one. You don't speak of the dark one, or you give the dark one power. I have feelings for and against that. I also feel like there are things that if you don't talk about, you give the dark one power. Like, for example, we had situations of families facilitating physical abuse on minors that we didn't want to talk about. We didn't want to talk about it. We don't talk about it, right? Right? Because it's just like women hitting men. We don't talk about that either because society's not too pleased with that. We don't talk. There's plenty of things that we don't talk about, but we need to talk about. However, with this incel thing, I want to take you to Margaret Atwood, you progressives too. Margaret Atwood, the worst thing a woman has to fear from a man is death. All a man has to fear from a woman is being laughed at. Okay, ladies, have you seen the movie Carrie? What happens when everyone in the room laughs at somebody? Do you think they just move on and, oh, it's another day, we're going to come back tomorrow and it's going to be... No, they're going to be traumatized. That's abuse. You're abusing them. So we have this situation going on for men. And I can give you an example when it happened to me. My ex-wife got on to Reddit and asked them, am I the asshole for being upset with the way my husband does dishes? It was literally just about dishes, that's all. And everyone just came after me, and at the end they told her that she should leave me, and she said that, oh, he was the best I could do, and I felt like he was the best I could. Everyone's like, you go, girl, you can do so much better. They've never seen her. They don't know anything about her. As she was typing this up, she didn't mention she was a stay-at-home mom. And she also didn't mention that she does dishes about once a week and won't let me do dishes. Well, she said every 3 days. Every other day is what she told her friend. Every 3 days if I didn't ask her to. But the thing is, the suppers would stay out on the stove. And every now and then the kids would start eating old suppers. I caught my kid eating 3-day-old Kraft dinner. Someone has legitimately died from leaving Kraft dinner in the refrigerator for 7 days. Now, I told CPS didn't care about this at all. They didn't care about this at all. And I don't think anyone cares. Now, if you want me to be concerned about your incel stuff, lady, you gotta be concerned about my damn kids. You gotta be concerned about your damn kids. And making sure that the stuff on the counter gets clean so 3 days later, kids don't eat it. We can't have these conversations. But what we do have is a growing pool of women that's found out how to use their issues as emotional currency almost. I mean, I have Bitcoin. Women have gossip. Gossip is a very popular thing. Yeah, we don't want to talk about this stuff. These are definitely difficult conversations. They're definitely meaningful conversations. We definitely need to have these things. It's possible. It's possible that maybe we shouldn't be calling everyone incel. It's possible that we have a lot of mental and psychological abuse coming from women that we can't get abuses, we can't get marks from and go out there with. And while my ex will say every day that I was bad for this, that, or the other reason, one thing she'll never say is she was the physically abusive one. And they all have reasons to get around. Oh, you wouldn't get out of my way, so I had to. Did you ask me to move? Did you say, excuse me? The system is not exactly designed for men. It's designed to help women because apparently 40 years ago, bad things happened. It's not happening so much anymore. Not saying it doesn't happen. But what I'm saying is, there was absolutely a group of guys back there that screwed women up. And then there was a generation of guys that were designed not to be like them. And those generations of guys designed not to be like them are under the social rules and the legal rules for that previous generation. At some point, we just got to admit that there's some women who just want to dematerialize men, use them completely as objects. They would gladly skin a man and wear him as an outfit, I like to say. And like, we know men are bad. I could go on for days to say about how men have been bad in the past and how they continue to be bad. But at the same time, after the advent of Me Too movement, it's like we all forgot that women have the potential for evil, and that women themselves often don't like their mothers or their grandparents. And though many people abused them, though many men gave them a hard time, women also gave them a hard time. But they blame that on the patriarchy. We need to get back to the original definitions, guys. We need to get back to looking at truth and not just what feels right. And we need to do it for society. We need to stop worrying about just ourselves, how much money we have, because I really feel like we have a society that if someone was being abused, hurt, killed in a small town, that but everyone, they just call the police and hang up and just whatever, it's not my responsibility. And in that, I think we've lost Canada. I think we've lost a good part of our society. I think we need to get the society. We need to find a medium ground. Just like third wave feminists, everyone needs to come together, be reasonable, and not just expect more for themselves, which is definitely something I'm seeing more and more. And that's unfortunate. But thanks for listening to me. Thanks for listening to my rant. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys. Take care of each other. Take care of each other. We might be all that we've got. Have a good one, folks.